All right, today guys, we're gonna talk about why this market and how we're starting to shift is starting to get kind of scary for both investors and home purchasers and especially for renters, and how this market, particularly for renters, is gonna start to get pretty bad. All right, guys, so as everybody knows, our market is going into a recession, especially in the real estate industry. We're starting to see prices of homes dropping hundreds of thousands of dollars in some circumstances. We see Zillow homes popping down even further and further. It's popping up in the news all over the place. And so what does this mean for you as an individual? So if you're a real estate investor, it means that if you're looking at flips, you need to be buying them at a lower and lower discount, because it means that you're gonna have a lower purchase or sale price that you're gonna be able to sell that home for afterwards. But most importantly, for most people, is that we are shifting to become a bigger and bigger renter society. The same home that you used to be able to buy for $2,000 a month, you used to be able to afford almost a $400,000 home for a $2,000 a month mortgage payment when we had interest rates around 2, maybe 3%. Now we've flipped that, where for $2,000 a month, you're getting almost half the price of a home because interest rates have skyrocketed so fast. So what does that mean? If we look at a typical economics demand and supply curve, it means that there's still a supply, but the problem is the demand has shifted way down because we don't have people who can buy these homes. And so you can't afford the home. That's why we're seeing buyers are backing out, and people just aren't buying homes at the same rate because they aren't they're not getting the home that they wanted to for the payments that they wanted to make. And so what that means instead is people are saying, oh, I'll just wait. We hear it every single day. I'll just wait until the interest rates go back down. The problem is that's just pushing it down. Not to mention we've had a supply issue for years on the number of homes. There's not enough homes in the US to be able to give everybody a home that they can buy. So what that means is we're shifting to become a bigger and bigger renter society. More people are choosing to rent and delay purchasing a home. And what that means is, again, the supply of rentals will decrease, which means that the demand for them is going to increase. So for those of you who don't understand economics, as supply decreases, there's a higher, as long as demand has maintained, as you move up that demand curve, now our demand is significantly higher, and as a result, it means that people can start to charge higher and higher prices. So what's gonna happen in the rental industry is that all of a sudden now we've gone from having average amount of rentals and people who are wanting to purchase. To be honest, it even decreased a little bit, the demand before, because everybody was buying. There's more and more buying because we had interest rates that dropped. So what does that mean now? It means that we're moving into a position now where there's gonna be a huge demand on rentals. And as rental demand increases, that price is gonna increase. And so what happens is we're gonna start seeing rent increases on a lot of different homes, which means that we're gonna push this up and we've become more of a renting type society. So what does that mean for you? First off, if you plan to be renting, get a year-long contract, or if you can, even longer, and make sure you're locked in at your price point. In some states, they've created policies to be able to help diminish your ability to be able to raise rents. I personally think that's stupid because it's the government stepping in trying to tell you how you run your business. That doesn't make any sense to me, because what it means is it just pushes over to the other states that are making more money because there's not supply. People don't want to rent in those states. Regardless, if you're a renter and you have to be renting, make sure to get a contract that locks you in at a certain rent price every single month. And then second, start looking at buying. Even though with rates where they're at right now, buy the home that you can afford now and you can refinance later once these rates drop back down. Don't buy above what you can afford, but buy what you can afford that gets you into the home that you need to be in. Also, start getting creative. On our channel, we're going to talk a lot about different creative finance strategies that you can use. Some of those being a lease option, or some people call it a rent to own. You might be able to structure a deal with somebody where you say, hey, if I rent this property for the next 3 years, at the end of that 3-year period, can I purchase this property for market value at that point? A lot of landlords and a lot of real estate investors would be open to that conversation. And then on the other side of it too, there's other ways that you can purchase homes. It's solving problems for people, it's creating value, and it's trying to figure out how you can come up with a creative way to be able to purchase this home. So some of that sometimes means going to the seller and saying, hey, is there seller financing available? So instead of going and get a loan from the bank for 7% or 8% at this point, instead, can I come to you and what if we do a 6% loan or a 5% loan, and it's able to be lower? Again, you can always refinance again in the future if rates have dropped back down. Make sure to make wise decisions with your money, but just be careful. As we're moving into this economy, rent rates are going to start to increase because we are pushing more and more people away from purchasing and owning this asset with equity, or pushing them to be renters. And as demand increases, it's going to start to push up the price of these rentals as well, which is sad too, because there's not even equity to be had in it. So my biggest advice, get out of renting as soon as you can, own a home, get the appreciation, get the depreciation on the home as well, the tax benefits. There's so many huge factors that we'll talk about more and more on this channel. So like, subscribe, comment below, let me know if you have any questions on anything about this. Let me know what you think. Maybe you disagree with me, so drop a comment below. Let me know, what have you been seeing recently in your market? Are rents starting to increase already? Do you not see any change yet? But let me know.